What's up, everybody? Next week, we get Split 2 of Season 26 of Apex. So they put out the patch notes today so we can see what's changing next Tuesday. But before we go through the patch notes, if you want to watch me play the new Split live on Twitch, my Twitch is linked down below. All my other social medias, my single-player channel, and my car social medias and YouTube channel are all down below if any of that interests you or you want to support me anywhere. Any support's always appreciated, of course. But please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you like this type of content, COD content, or game reviews, and you want to see them first. And comment down below at the end what you think of the changes coming to Apex or what you think on my thoughts about it. But let's go ahead and roll through these patch notes. So, of course, Split 2 wouldn't be Split 2 without an event. Skins, the event reward is a flatline skin. Fine. Wildcard is Wildcard's getting another variant of it. You know, they have the base Wildcard, then they just had the variant that had the bat and the different Wildcard abilities. So that went away as the event ended, and now they're bringing back a wild card variant again from September 16th, so next week when it comes out through the 30th, so for 2 total weeks. There's a chance of finding the EPG, which has been in the LTMs before, and then the wild cards and the replicators will be Cracker Jacker, instantly reload weapon on knock, down bad, enemies explode when knocked, extra ordnance, players gain ability to carry +1 ordnance, so grenades. Good Doctor, revive squad mates with additional shields. Grenade, mark enemies damaged by your explosives. Scent packing, frag grenade knockback is increased. Shields up, gain epic level shields, so red shields. And stowed reload, stowed weapons, auto reloads after several seconds. It seems like the best ones are probably Cracker Jack. Down bad's good. Definitely good. And then, like, they're not too great. Otherwise, Good Doctor's good. But they're all right. Event stuff, other than getting a Vantage skin, I don't really care about too much about the event stuff. They added Steam Datagram Relay SDR to protect against DOS attacks. They added it in Diamond and Master ranked matches, and they're continuing to add it in the ranks below that as they continue to test it. Patch notes, Evo Harvester on a previous hotfix, the spawn rate was increased, and they reduced the likelihood of Evo Harvester spawning a single POI. Ring exploit prevention adjusted to prevent system abuse, so people can't just camp in the ring with heals. Assault class, they're stowed reload. If you don't know, when you're an Assault Legend and you have a gun stowed, it will auto reload like you have a gold mag. That was 2 seconds. It's now 4 seconds. Ashe got some good nerfs here. Ashe might finally not dominate anymore. Her passive cooldown is 12 seconds now. It was 8 seconds and gives you less of a boost when not dashing in the direction you're moving. So you dash back or left or right, like if you're sprinting forward. Tactical arc snare. The snare breaks more easy and the base duration is 6 seconds, not 8 seconds. It doesn't have as much pulling strength and it doesn't deal extra damage to shields. Level 2, dual breach and marks for death were removed. They've now added longer breach, which increases the phase breach range or ultimate by 25 meters, and ultimate cooldown, which reduces the cooldown for ultimate by 30 seconds. Caustic, who's been really annoying so far this season, damage from gas ramps up more slowly. It increases every 2 ticks instead of every 1, and it removed the aim punch when taking damage. I think he's still going to be annoying, but this will help a little bit. People that spam him in like wildcard and in like team deathmatch and those modes are the worst people. Sorry if that's you, but it's true. Mad Maggie, her riot drill firing animation was sped up, and the drill now comes out immediately after releasing the button. It was delayed by a few frames before. Her ultimate wrecking ball, the animation speed is sped up. The wrecking ball is now more reliable at moving around her over obstacles. Explosions deal 25 damage. It was 20. Reduced lifetime to 7 seconds. It was 10 seconds. So a little bit of a nerf there to balance out the buffs. Speed pads increase movement speed for 3.5 seconds. It was 2 seconds. Speed pads give fortified buff for the duration. Doesn't stack with already fortified legends, so it doesn't help out the Newcastle, Gibby, Caustic. Don't think Pathfinder was, even though he's big enough to be. I think it was just those 3. But everyone else will be fortified when they're getting that speed buff. So we could see a Maggie could be really good now. Speed pads last 20 seconds. It was 60 seconds. They don't stay on the ground as long, which is fine. Speed pads deactivate 6 seconds for player using it after being used. Speed pads no longer drop from the final explosion. Upgrades level 2. Shots removed. Now she has a new one called gun running, where passive movement speed increase also works with SMGs and pistols and not just shotguns. Fireball now drops magma patches along the ground as it moves, and Maggie takes 50% less fire damage from all sources. So thermites, fuses all. Seer. So Seer is who I think we could see pop up into the meta. Passive her passive long view upgrade is now permanent. Increase the passive intact to 75 meters. It was 50. Now one constant heartbeat instead of differing beats for each enemy. UI and audio pulse to indicate when the heartbeat scans happen. Directional waveforms are now taller or shorter depending on where the enemy is close or far from where you were aiming. Improved UI visibility. His tactical reduced weapon holster time by 60% when activating tac with the gun out. Scanning someone with tac now gives Seer a speed boost for 4 seconds. So if you're an aggressive player and you want to play Seer, that's really big. Scan duration increased to 4 seconds, was 2.5. Slow duration to 1 second, was 0.5 second. And silence duration reduced to 2.5 seconds, was 8 seconds. So the scan duration is longer, the slow duration is longer, but the silence duration is way shorter where it like cancels out abilities. Cooldown reduced to 20 seconds, it was 30 seconds. Increased delay before the scan goes off to 1 second, was 0.7 seconds. Visual effects adjusted, increasing extra clarity on AoE effects that let you know where the scan will hit. So overall, a buff to his tac, but they did balance it out some. Ultimate Exhibit, which I'll be honest with you, I'm such a Seer hater, I didn't even realize his ultimate's name was Exhibit. Artist Reach upgrade now permanent, increased throw range to 50 meters. That's a far throw. Sphere radius increased to 38 meters. Seer gains enhanced jumping and ADS hover while inside of his ult, which is really interesting. Added threat indicator within 15 meters of the center the enemies will see. Adjusted throws pitch while aiming, so you don't have to aim as far up to get longer throws. So once again, they buffed it more than they nerfed it, but they did nerf it a little bit to balance it, but the buffs are huge. Upgrades level 2, Artist Reach removed. That's now just in his base tac. Ultimate cooldown was removed. Now he has lasting beats. Enemies who leave the dome have their location shown for 5 seconds. So you can't just be like, oh shit, Seer ult and leave. You're still scanned for 5 seconds after that. New home base. Tac recharges 4 times as fast in your exhibit sphere. Level 3, long view removed, added into the base kit. New energizing focus. Regen 25 shields while hitting enemy with tac. That's big too. So if you want to be aggressive, you get that speed boost. And if you use that upgrade, you also get 25 shields back if you've taken damage. But focus no longer has a downside. Sparrow, tracker dart, tracking duration, now 12 seconds. It was 15 seconds. I don't think those really needed a nerf. And new visual effects when aiming to show if your dart will activate a nearby enemy scan beacon. I'm sorry, I got something in my eye. Stinger bolt, bolt health is now down to 400, was 550. I like that. Bolt pulsing now slows Sparrow and his allies. I don't really like that. Adjusting animations when aiming Stinger Bolt to make it easier to see the trajectory. Upgrades level 2 extra traps now gives 1 additional trap in the world, was 2. So they overall nerfed him. They didn't really do anything to buff him other than some visual effects and animations to make him a little easier, but they overall nerfed him. Loot and attachments. Gold magazine, time to reload while stowed is increased to 4 seconds, just like they did with the Assault Legends. Hop-ups. The accelerator, they increased points to unlock and removed from the Peacekeeper Elstone alternator and added it to the G7, the car, and the flatline. Graffiti mod, increased points to unlock, added to the Mastiff. Gun shield generator, increased points to unlock. Select fire, increased points to unlock. Skull piercer, increased points to unlock. Turbocharger, they are adding 600 points to unlock, so the most besides Skull piercer, and it's compatible with the Havoc and the Devo. It definitely helps bring the Havoc and the Devo up more into the meta, and this Skull Piercer nerf definitely helps take the 30-30 a little bit lower, but the 30-30 is still going to be really good. Previous hotfix for amps, they reduced the spawn rate at the start of the match, which I did not ever feel that reduction in spawn rate, but I haven't played that much this season, to be honest. Icon added to enemy health bar for which amp they have. Oh wait, duh, it's previous hotfix. I was going to say, I swear that I saw that, but duh. Previous hotfix, which I also posted about. LMG, the Devo, they removed the perk that would add the turbocharger after you got all the purple attachments, because now it just has a turbocharger as its locked hop up. Marksman, Bowchuck, Compound Bound, decreased charge time to fully knock an arrow, and improved hipfire spread. It's still not very good. The RE45 burst in a previous hotfix, they reduced the projectile size, reduced magazine size, and increased horizontal and vertical recoil. It's still very good. I kind of leaning more towards the Prowler over it, but it's still very good. Wingman damage increased to 50, was 40, but Skull Piercer headshot multiplier reduced to 1.92. It was 2. Skull Piercer headshot damage stays unchanged at 96. Overall, still in a better place. Still a buff. Shotgun Mastiff increased delay before firing when drawing weapon to better match our other shotguns. Peacekeeper increased size of blast pattern when choked. The Peacekeeper was getting back to being a little too good. I think the Mastiff was fine though. BR ranked and unranked maps are E-District, Kings Canyon, and Olympus. Modes, duos, they reduced the squad count to 15. It was 30. The ring starts partially closed with the timings adjusted. And dropship now starts at the edge of the ring, similar to wildcard. And then the ring closes 4 times. So they've just made it a smaller mode, essentially. I don't think duos is super popular, so I don't think that many people will care relative to the whole player base, but still significant somewhat. Wildcard trios still going to be on Kings Canyon. Rampart care packages will have the Mythic Flatline, not the Bat, thank God. Increased spawn rate for explosive gear, added chance to find EPG loot, the wild cards we talked about, and then Wildcard Core returns back for 2 weeks, September 30th to October 14th. I wonder if the season ends October 14th. I mean, it's still an extra month after the season. I don't know. Date-wise, I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm not doing the math. Ranked enemy ladder score changes. Entry costs no longer including ranked ladder scoring. Bug fixes aren't too big of a deal. Quality of life, added For You section in the shop. Who cares? Ranked drop zones, there's no more jump master. You can just skydive independently, which is good. Once you took out the moving dropship and gave assigned drop zones, there was no point in having a jump master. So that's good. Wildcard respawn notification, reduce the size of announcements, take up less screen space, remove the announcement for when individual teammate has died, reworded the death banner to read last legend standing. On the engine, the PC, the shader count was reduced nearly 50%, improving start time and performance on PC. Now use bindless resources for particle FX and rendering. This reduces CPU usage. And on PC, fix an immediate crash from booting the game if player has an unknown display driver. But those are the changes. I'm hoping Ash moves down pegs now. I could see a Seer meta. I'm hoping Caustic. I think he'll still be meta, but I'm hoping Caustic gets used. I don't think the Sparrow thing is too big of a deal. Maggie will be interesting to see if she moves up in the meta. Not a whole lot of big changes. Weapons-wise, they didn't touch weapons people mainly use. I mean, some people use the Devo. Nobody uses the bow check. The RE45 thing already changed. There's not a lot of wingmans. The PK is the biggest weapon thing. And then when it comes to maps, still Kings Canyon is by far my least favorite for any mode. And I'm not a fan of daytime E-District. I want nighttime E-District back. But having E-District and Olympus in the map rotation, I'm not going to complain about Kings Canyon except for when I'm playing it, of course, because I'm not going to be able to help myself. But those are my thoughts. Those are the patch notes. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Once again, Twitch, social medias, YouTube channels, all linked down below if you want to support me anywhere else or check out my other types of content. I do appreciate any support anywhere, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you like this type of content, COD content, or game reviews, and comment down below what you think of the patch notes or where you disagree or agree with my thoughts on the patch notes. But I will see you on E-District, Kings Canyon, and Olympus. Get frying. Have a good day. Bye.